Good morning, all my sweet friends, pals, and confidants. It's Monday. It is a beautiful Monday here in St. Augustine. It is a little warm. I'm going to warn you. I don't know what the humidity is, but I know it's high because I went outside and my hair was straight. No, I'm kidding. My hair is always curly. But it may not have been as frizzy. I don't know. I took a shower after I went outside, so washed my hair. It is curly hair, and curly hair don't care. It's been a minute since I've been with you. And I really did plan on doing videos last week, but I got busy. I promise you, it was a busy week. You know, we went to the Keys a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. We spent a week in the Keys, and then we came home and I spent a week recovering. So, coffee. What's in your cup? This is, unfortunately, my second cup of coffee of the day. I love this cup. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. There's a Bible verse in there, Matthew 6:33. Look it up. Be a Berean. Don't believe me when I tell you, don't believe this cup. Look it up for yourself. That's what I want y'all to do. I am a Berean, not literal, well, not by birth or by blood, but I have a Berean spirit. I don't believe everything that people tell me. I need to look it up for myself. Paul praised the Bereans for doing that, for not believing everything that came out of his mouth. Paul, they didn't believe everything. They probably did. Let me back that up. They probably did, but they wanted biblical proof of what he was saying, so that when they told people this is what Paul said, they had biblical proof to back it up. I'm sorry, my table here is a little bit of a mess. I'm not in my office today like I have been for the past several weeks, and the reason is that picture. I want to talk about that picture today, but first, let me say I am going to do, I know I told you that I would do videos while I was on my vacation. I did not. I had a wonderful vacation. It was so relaxing. I actually spent one whole day because I didn't realize that it was going to expire. I spent an entire day watching videos for PALS, Pediatric Advanced Life Support. And on Sunday, the 5th, I'm taking the class, and then I'll have my PALS certification again. I have had it in the past, and I let it expire because I was retired. I saw no need to keep it. Of course, I've told y'all, I will never give up my nursing license. Never, ever, ever. I will be 98 years old and still doing my CEUs to renew my license. They are going to have to pry that license out of my cold, dead hands, because the year it is not renewed is the year that I am in heaven with Jesus, and my RN license will be eternal, because I know that I was born a nurse. It's not what I became. It's not my profession. It's who I am. And if you are a nurse, you know that you know. If you are married to a nurse, or if your child is a nurse, or if your parent is a nurse, you know. We are who we are. It's not a job. And you know what? There are nursing assistants who in their heart are nurses. It's who they are. And you know who they are too. Some of the best nursing assistants on the planet are true nurses in their heart. Actually, I think all of the best nursing assistants are nurses in their heart. I wish they could get paid what a nurse got paid, and I wish a nurse got paid more than a nurse gets paid right now, but it is what it is. And hopefully I'll be starting back to work soon. It's a per diem position. I told you about it. It's doing hearing tests on newborn babies. I get to hold newborn babies. I'm so excited. Well, actually, I don't know if I get to hold them. I do get to touch them and play with them and smile at them and coo at them. But I'm excited about that. So that's why I'm taking the PALS. The regular BLS, basic life support, was what was required for the job. PALS is not required. But because I am an RN and because I am an overachiever, I'm getting my PALS again. And, oh, another reason I didn't do any videos this week, because I spent the last 2 weeks, it's been 2 weeks since I did a video, I have spent the last 2 weeks praying and asking God what I should talk to you about, because I asked y'all and you were silent. Nada. Peep, not a peep. Y'all, talk to me, please. Let me know you're out there. I know you're listening. I see the likes. Matter of fact, I need more of you to like, please. Like and share so that my channel can grow. So that when I'm too old to be handling the babies, I'll still have some kind of an income. Right now, my Facebook and YouTube does not generate any income. But I'm hoping that someday that will change. Let me get a sip here. Because I know those of you that do listen to me enjoy listening to me, because I've heard from y'all that you do. Okay, so I wanted to share something that I've been doing this week because I'm so proud of her. My little granddaughter, I don't know how old she is, she's in her 20s. I think, let me see, Dakota's going to be 30. So that means Elijah will be 28, Noah will be 26, so Serena's going to be 24. Oh my goodness. She's going to be 24, and she has a boyfriend named Christian who we all adore, mostly because he puts up with her. She is a handful. I promise you that. She is a handful. Now, some of that, I'll admit, she gets from me, but her downright orneriness, I think she gets that from her daddy. And you know what? He doesn't listen to my videos, so I'm safe, but his mommy and daddy listen to my videos, so Sandy and Dwayne, I think she comes from your side of the family. Matter of fact, I know she looks exactly like Sandy did when Sandy was young. Sandy, I've seen the pictures of her high school graduation, drop dead gorgeous. Just a beautiful, beautiful young woman. And Serena looks just like her. Identical. So I'm excited for Serena. She, her and her boyfriend are probably going to be getting married within the next couple of years. And I am making them an Afghan. It's called Seaside Sampler. And what a sampler Afghan is, it's just kind of a sample of all the talented different crochet my mind is gone. All the different patterns that you can make in crochet. And this one's beautiful. I had started one, an Irish Afghan that I've got one more Afghan to make for the after this for my stepdaughter. And then I'm going to go back to my Irish Afghan that is a tribute to my ancestry. So I really like this. Look at the, I thought some pretty patterns in there. Pretty, huh? It'll be beautiful when it's done. So that has taken me about a week. I think a little less than a week. I haven't worked on it every day. So that's what I'm working on in my spare time. Tonight or this afternoon, I'm going to First Coast Women's Services and offering my support to women that find themselves pregnant. And usually 90% of the time, the women that come to our clinic, our center, is an unplanned pregnancy. Before I start talking about this, and I'm already 10 minutes into this, I'm such a jabberwocky. Jabber, 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 jabber. Anyways, I had been praying last 2 weeks over what to talk about. And I had been kind of at my wit's ends on Thursday morning. I was praying, Lord, I don't know what to do. You haven't showed me what you want me to do, and nobody has asked for anything specific. And Thursday night, I was at Church of 1122, and I was doing the lights, and there was a little bit of time, and I walked out to the book area, and I found a book, and it was like, ta-da! The lights were shining, the angels were singing, and God said, this is what you're going to talk about for the next 2 months. So, you know, my puppy's name is Moses. And CO and I were studying Moses back in January separately. We didn't we didn't plan it. We just both were separately talking about Moses, or reading about Moses in the Exodus and Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, and then he dies and Joshua takes over, and then the Judges and Ruth, 1st, 2nd Samuel, 1st Kings, you know. But Moses knows I'm talking about him. I'm gonna see my baby. Isn't he adorable? I know. Anyway, this is a Bible study on Moses, and it's knowing a God who knows you. This is a chance, not specifically to get to know Moses, although we will, but it's to get to know God and have the kind of relationship, sorry, my eye itches, to have the kind of relationship with God that Moses did. Moses had a close personal relationship with God. And isn't that what we all want? So that when we get to heaven, we've already got that established. That's what I want. Anyways, tomorrow I will read to you the introduction. It's not long. This is pretty big print. It's only a couple of pages, but it'll give you an idea of what we're going to do, and then we'll dig into the study part. This was written by Allie Parsons. I know nothing about Allie, except that I am assuming, because her book was in with the rest of the books, that she attends the Church of 1122. I'm assuming that. I'll do some more investigating into her and tell you about her tomorrow. So today, though, I wanted to talk about this, because I accidentally ran across some things. I don't know why I was looking it up, but you know, we have that picture, and it's a big picture. You can see. I mean, I got a big head, and look how big this picture is. This is a big picture. Sorry, didn't mean to see my ugly legs. I do have shorts on, but I have huge weight loss, so I have really ugly legs. Oh, yeah, I don't wear shorts. Even my bathing suit is long, almost to my knees, and so not a lot of sun on these snowy white legs. Okay, so I'm sure all of you have seen this picture hundreds of thousands of times in your lifetime. But did you ever take time to think about it and think about who each person was in this picture? Well, I'm going to tell you. And we're going to start on the far left and go to the right. That's obviously Jesus in the middle. But on the far left, in the kind of leaning over, is Bartholomew. Bartholomew is leaning over, looking stunned and kind of challenging Jesus' statement. What happened here? Jesus had just told them that one of them would betray him. As you know, that will put them all into a huge uproar, and that's what this painting is. The next one, the guy in red, is James. They call him James the Lesser, but he's James the son of Alphaeus. And he's reaching out to touch Peter's shoulder. Can you see his hand behind Andrew? His arm is behind Andrew, and he's reaching out to touch Peter. Peter's the old guy with the white beard. And he's kind of in shock. He's like, Peter, what's going on? The next one, the guy with his hands like that, that's Andrew. He's surprised, raising his hands in a gesture of disbelief, or maybe even it's a gesture of, not me. Not me, guys, not me. And next, kind of in between, the first head, the dark guy, we're going to talk about him in a second, but the first arm there, if you'll see, he's holding a knife. The knife is pointed backwards, but he's holding a knife right there. That is none other than, you got him, Simon Peter. He's leaning aggressively over Judas, not realizing that Judas is the betrayer, but he's leaning over him to talk to John, and he's got a knife. He is going to protect Jesus no matter what. And he's leaning over to John, and he's saying, who do you think it is? Not realizing the guy that's sitting right there that can hear every teeny tiny whisper, because it's closer to him than he even is to John. He knows he's the betrayer. And that is Judas Iscariot. He's kind of leaning back. He's recognizable by the dark shadows. He's darker than everybody else here. And in some pictures, he's darker than everybody else, which in Leonardo da Vinci's way of saying it is a dark shadow on his face. And if you can see, in his right hand, there's a purse that probably holds his 30 pieces of silver, in which he got one for betraying Jesus. And he's reaching out his left hand to get some bread. And if you notice, Jesus is reaching out his right hand. They're fixing to touch each other, reaching for that bread. The young one there, leaning with his head towards Peter, is John the Apostle. He's the youngest looking disciple. He's clean shaven because he's young. He doesn't even shave yet. He's sitting directly next to Jesus, and he's listening. There are a lot of rumors out there that is not John, that's actually Mary Magdalene, because it's so feminine looking. But a lot of young men, 16, 18 years old, they look kind of feminine. That's not a bad thing. It's just, they end up being some very handsome men. But yeah, he does look feminine, but it's John. If it was Mary Magdalene, where's John? John the Beloved. He would be in this painting. Leonardo da Vinci would not have painted a picture of all the disciples without putting John in the picture. Next is Jesus in the center, sitting very calmly. He just dropped a huge bomb, and he's the focal point of the picture. Next, this little group of three people is Thomas with his finger pointing up, who appears highly upset with a finger raised, foreshadowing his future doubt of the resurrection. I'm reading it. I don't know. James, the guy in green with his arms spread out, that's James the Greater, the brother of John. He's in total shock with his arms spread out, saying, "What? What?" And then leaning over him and looking kind of feminine too is Philip, seeming to say, "Is that all you got? Can you tell us more?" In the blue, my favorite apostle, Matthew. And the only reason he's my favorite, one, he wrote a great book, the book of Matthew. But if you've ever watched The Chosen, the video series, I just love the character. I love the way they portrayed him. Very human, very flawed, but very in love with his Savior and very changed. So Matthew's turned towards Jude, searching for answers. The next is Thaddeus, also called Jude, also turned to the others to discuss the betrayal. And last but not least is Simon the Zealot, the big guy, the zealot, the fight for the right. He's sitting there in total astonishment, also with his hands out like, "What? No. What?" Okay. So that's an explanation of the Last Supper. And if you want to Google it, Google, I think I wrote the disciples in Da Vinci's Last Supper, and then I got this list. So Google it yourself if you want a copy of that list. I think I'm going to keep that in my Bible. I kind of like it. Not that I think Da Vinci was some divine man of God. I do not think that. I think he was divinely talented, that God provided talent beyond the normal man. You all see that in his paintings, in his sculptures, in everything that he did. He was an inventor. He was extremely talented. I bet he had an extremely high IQ. I'm just saying. So it is the 9:30 now. I've been on with y'all 23 minutes. It's time for me to close. Tomorrow I will read the introduction and I'll tell you a little bit about Allie. I'll look her up and find out what I can. She's got some beautiful pictures in this book. If you want to pick up the book, if you live here in the Northeast area in Florida, you can go to any Church of 1122 and they will have this book. It was $20. And I'll check to see if there's other places you can buy it. You can go on the 1122 website and order it and have it sent to you. I'm sure you have to pay for shipping and handling. If you go on Amazon, I bet it's on Amazon, but I'll double check. If you are a Prime member, free shipping. Love Amazon. I love being a Prime member. Okay, that's all I got for now. I love y'all. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm excited about starting this new series on getting to know God better through Moses. I love y'all. Bye.